Back in September, the Jaguars lost their previous game against the Texans. Can Houston sweep the series? The answer comes your way next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. From NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again, Fisher. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this. Across the 40. Throw again. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this will be a touchdown. Such an impressive punt return, 83 yards. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win. But we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Off play action. Fisher. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Let's go. Let's do it. Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. From the gun, Fisher. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you figure the field goal team coming on 4th.
McCann's kick is good.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's complete. He finds Falk here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in Week 2. And it was the visiting Texans who came away with a victory. So they'll look to take the season series if they can win here in Houston. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. Now down it at the 11-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Now a dump off here complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the Jaguars send out their punter. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Ready for the 2nd quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Tackle made by Tyus Bowser. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can... So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Fisher. And this one is incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Back to throw. Fisher. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A huge play there for Houston.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
He's going to try and go deep again. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 33 yards. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Texans will extend their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He'll fire it deep for Rager. It got his man complete. A big play that time for Jacksonville. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. I'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. McCann's kick up and good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get through it? In this case, he stepped right up.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought, and it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And now they're in the hurry-up. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown to this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. So he's been automatic.
automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That was signaling a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now it's Wilson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Texans will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point put through by Boswell. And a rout is on here in this first half. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports? And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's caught. It's Williams. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
A solid stiff arm. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there. And he did a lot of that on that play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
And he returns this to the 22.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action now. Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Wilson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. Touchdown, Jaguars. Mark Andrews. .76 yards. And the Jaguars get a score closer. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. That's caught at the 1. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
On second down, it's Gibson. Able to slither by. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Alden Smith there on the tackle. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Wilson.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
This out quickly to Williams.
Touchdown, Texans! Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon, and the Texans will add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. It seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? See what they decide to do.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Looking to throw. Fisher. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Here we go. Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Back now in Houston. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 43.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a give to Gibson. Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Obviously, you got to hold on to the... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Gibson. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Fisher, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Fisher. He'll fire it deep for Rager. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. 56 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. On 1st down, Gibson bulldozes past him, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into climb mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead 4th quarter they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Open man is Kirk, complete. Shoves him aside, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
These two teams, they met in Houston earlier in the season with the Texans coming out on top. So a win here in Houston would give them the season sweep.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans scoop it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A handoff for Gibson.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, He's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Now Gibson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defense in front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean,